Americans, Shane Bauer, who did a report for Democracy Now!, Sarah Short, and Joshua Fatal are also being held by the Iranian government, and we will continue to cover their case. We played one of Shane's reports once again after they were taken when they came over the border did not realize the border between Iraq and Iran was right where they were. They were hiking and were picked up by Iranian forces. Mohammed Abdeldayem, thanks so much for being with us, Committee to Protect Journalists Program Coordinator for the Middle East and North Africa. When we come back, we will go to American Casino. We will look at the economy today. Who's being hurt? Who's benefiting? Stay with us.
Thank you.
And to see the images of Ibrahim Jassim's family holding up his photograph, the imprisoned Iraqi journalist from Reuters being held by the U.S. military in Iraq, you can go to our website at democracynow.org. That music that we just played, The People of Baghdad by Inam Wali. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The economy has a long way to recover from what's been called the Great Recession of 2008. At the heart of the meltdown was the subprime mortgage crisis that caused more than 1 million Americans to lose their homes and brought Wall Street to its knees. A new documentary that's opening today in New York takes on the subprime collapse, tracking its roots on Wall Street and Washington and profiling some of its victims, mainly African-American families who lost their homes. American Casino is directed by Leslie Cockburn, who wrote and produced the documentary with her husband, journalist and author Andrew Cockburn. They join us today in our Firehouse studio, but we first will turn to an excerpt of the film, which begins by looking at how deregulation of the financial sector laid the groundwork for the economic meltdown. This is American Casino.
To understand why this is like a gambling casino, you have to understand what's at stake here. On a December evening, December 15th, 2000, around 7 o'clock, Phil Gramm, Republican Senator of Texas, then chair of the Senate Finance Committee, walked to the floor of the Senate and introduced a 262-page bill as a rider to the 11,000-page appropriation bill, which excluded from regulation the financial instruments that are probably most at the heart of the present meltdown. He not only excluded them from all federal regulation, but he excluded them from state regulation as well, which is important because these instruments could be viewed to be gambling instruments where you're betting on whether people will or will not pay off their loans. And he announced at the time that this measure would be a boon to the American economy and be a boon to Wall Street because they would be freed of any supervision in this regard. And that lack of supervision freed Wall Street to essentially shoot itself in both feet.
I worked for 4 companies on Wall Street. 3 of them don't exist anymore. I don't think anything is really permanent in life. I mean, sure, my grandfather worked for the same company for 20 some odd years in the steel mills of Pittsburgh, maybe 30 years, I don't know, but he worked for the same company his whole life. Nothing's permanent anymore. The stock market goes south, banks going out of business. It's just the way people in America live. I don't think anything I've done propelled or inhibited it. I don't think, no. I don't feel any responsibility for this mess at all.
It really started getting heated in 2004, 2005. The mortgage rates kept dropping for prime mortgages, you know, the ones that most people get. And that made the others much more valuable because they offered much more yield. When you have that much cash flow that's extra, you can siphon off a whole lot more fees. And that is, you know, it's all about money. Subprime, in 2005 and 2006, the issuance was about $800 billion total. It's a river of cash. $800 billion, it will buy a lot of houses and do a lot of things, and you can tap into that. Your fees on that might be 4%. Okay, 4% of $32 billion.
If there's more demand for homes and more people securitizing mortgages, we would sell more bonds. And it could be $1 billion to $2 billion to $5 billion, you know, to $10 billion a month.
This is a Lehman Brothers bond done in early 2006. If you look here, you can tell how many mortgages are delinquent 60 days, or delinquent more than 90 days, how much money they've already lost, and how much real estate they've already taken back. That's in foreclosure. That's real estate they've already taken back and not sold yet. As you can see, that, you know, this is not going well. They've got 800 million, and you know, they've got 31% that's more than 90 days delinquent.
Dr. Greenspan, you had an ideology. You had a belief that